Hi, I'm James Grunman, and this is my self-reflective speech. I felt like this class is really going to help me become a better director, especially when I'm speaking to the public. I knew I had to put my best foot forward and really push myself when I came into this class. Prior to taking this class, I originally was in JROTC back in high school, which was a leadership class for those that don't know. Every year we'd have to present a speech, and the entire month we'd have to practice, write it down, and learn it without having to use paper. And if necessary, we could use flashcards as well as visual presentations. After taking public speaking, I really feel that I'm more comfortable with speaking to the public in general, and that I'll have really taken a lot from this class. I have had to stand in front of large crowds before. One of the biggest ones was for chorus, doing solos for 3 years back in middle school, so that is one experience I've had. For this question, I felt like I was more comfortable doing this because I really knew what I wanted to talk about. So I really felt more comfortable because I feel like this was my greatest knowledge for the speech, and I really knew what I was going to talk about here. While I did have some issues with my eye contact, such as fumbling with my papers when I was trying to figure out what I was going to say, and getting nervous, I did learn a lot from that and what not to do next time. I felt I felt I used a lot of energy and that my volume really spoke to the class for this one. While I did feel nervous for two of the four speeches that I did, I really feel like the first and last speech were my favorites because I really enjoyed speaking on what I believed in. I did keep eye contact with my audience. They even supported me outside of class when I was done with the speech. I also feel like I got their attention because I would constantly see them leaning forward to really focus in on me. I really tried to look into my audience's eyes and even use hand gestures like this to emphasize on words. I believe I could have prepared an hour extra for my speeches, including research, but if I had to grade myself, I'd give myself a 93 compared to what I used to be at the start of public speaking. While I did have another class that conflicted with my time for prepping and practicing, I did have time in between, and for that, I think I did an okay job. Yes, I did practice more for my persuasive speech rather than the others, mainly because I wanted to make up for the last time when I had all my words jumbled and I wasn't making too much sense. I did have a technical issue when doing my industry professional speech. Instead of having the keynote, I accidentally uploaded the PDF to my flash drive. Rather than letting my classmates' oohs come into effect and ruin my whole speech, I decided to ignore it and just go with whatever happened, because you can't fix the past when it's already happened. My favorite speech was the pitch, my least was the Pecha Kucha. The reason the Pecha Kucha was my least favorite was because I really believe I could have done more for my partner, but I really think for what it was, he did a great job. What my TED Talk what my TED Talk taught me was that even with an accent, you can overcome those problems by just focusing on pronunciating the words while still understanding what you're talking about. You can also slow down your speech and make it understandable. My biggest challenge was keeping up with my visuals. With as vast as the web is today, it's hard to find out what's not accurate and what is, and this can be really time consuming for some people, especially for myself. As far as looking at the other speeches, I found out that you can have really much more attention if you use your words powerfully, such as Michael's today, when he used the word imagine and he really shouted it out at the class. This was really entertaining and it really kept my focus for the rest of the speech. What I would do is I would set aside time in between my classes and really write out the outline while focusing on the key points and even do research. On a scale of 1 to 5, I would rate myself a 4. I still have a lot to work on with my speeches, but I do believe I'm leaving public speaking with a lot more knowledge of what I didn't have beforehand, and leaving it with a lot more experience as well. I feel my professor has helped me out greatly with my speaking issues, and that I have learned a great deal from this class.